Freddie had always wondered what lay beyond the familiar pond, and today, he was about to find out. The curious frog. Once upon a time, in a green forest, there lived a little frog named Freddie. Freddie was not like other frogs. He was very curious and loved exploring new places. One sunny day, while hopping near the edge of the forest, Freddie noticed a path he had never seen before. The path was narrow and winding, lined with tall trees whose leaves whispered secrets to the wind. Sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, creating dancing patterns on the forest floor. Freddie's big, round eyes sparkled with excitement. He had explored many parts of the forest, but this path was new and mysterious. "I wonder where this leads," Freddie thought, his heart pounding with anticipation. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the distant chirping of birds created a melody that beckoned him forward. Freddie took a deep breath, his nostrils filling with the earthy aroma of the forest. He felt a mix of excitement and a little bit of fear, but his curiosity was stronger. With a determined hop, he ventured onto the hidden path, eager to uncover its secrets. The hidden path. Freddie's eyes widened with excitement as he gazed upon the mysterious path before him. The trail was narrow and wound its way through the dense forest like a slithering snake. Tall trees stood like ancient guardians on either side, their leafy canopies forming a green tunnel that beckoned him forward. "I wonder where this leads," Freddie thought, his heart fluttering like a butterfly. The air was thick with the earthy scent of moss and damp leaves, and the distant call of a cuckoo bird echoed softly, adding to the path's allure. Summoning his courage, Freddie decided to follow the enticing trail. With each hop, the forest around him seemed to change. The enchanted pond. As Freddie ventured deeper along the hidden path, the forest transformed around him. The towering trees stood like ancient guardians, their thick branches weaving together to form a leafy canopy overhead. Sunlight filtered through the dense foliage, casting dappled patterns on the forest floor, which was blanketed with soft moss and sprinkled with vibrant wildflowers. The air grew cooler, carrying the sweet scent of blooming jasmine and the earthy aroma of damp wood. The usual chorus of chirping birds and rustling leaves faded into a serene hush, broken only by the distant melody of a bubbling brook. Freddie's heart raced with a mix of excitement and a hint of trepidation as he pressed on, eager to uncover the secrets that lay ahead. Suddenly, the narrow path opened into a breathtaking clearing. At its center lay a pond unlike any Freddie had ever seen. The water was crystal clear, shimmering with hues of emerald and sapphire, as if the very essence of precious gems had melted into its depths. Delicate water lilies floated gracefully on the surface, their petals glistening with dewdrops that sparkled like tiny diamonds in the filtered sunlight. Surrounding the pond were clusters of flowers in every imaginable color: fiery reds, sunny yellows, deep purples, and soft pinks. Their sweet fragrances mingled in the air, creating a perfume so delightful that Freddie couldn't help but take a deep, appreciative breath. As he approached the water's edge, Freddie noticed that the pond seemed to glow with a gentle, otherworldly light. The surface was so still and clear that it mirrored the sky above, creating the illusion of a portal to another realm. Tiny fish with scales that glinted like silver darts swam just beneath the surface, weaving in and out of the tangled roots of aquatic plants. Freddie felt an irresistible urge to leap into the inviting water. His reflection stared back at him, its wide eyes filled with the same curiosity and wonder that danced in his heart. Taking a deep breath, he crouched low, his powerful legs coiling like springs, and with a mighty leap, he soared into the air and plunged into the enchanted pond. The moment Freddie entered the water, a warm, tingling sensation enveloped him, as if he were being wrapped in a comforting, magical embrace. Colors seemed to explode around him, and he felt a strange yet exhilarating energy coursing through his body. Little did Freddie know, this enchanted pond held ancient magic, and his life was about to change in ways he could never have imagined. The magical leap. Freddie stood at the edge of the shimmering pond, his reflection gazing back at him with wide, curious eyes. The water's surface was so clear that he could see the smooth pebbles lining the bottom, each one glistening like a hidden gem. Dragonflies with iridescent wings danced above the water, their movements creating tiny ripples that spread out in perfect circles. Taking a deep breath, Freddie felt the cool, crisp air fill his lungs. The scent of blooming lilies and damp earth surrounded him, making him feel both excited and a little nervous. His heart pounded like a drum, echoing the rhythm of the forest. Summoning all his courage, Freddie crouched low, his strong legs coiling beneath him. With a powerful push, he leaped into the air, soaring higher than he ever had before. Time seemed to slow as he hung in the air, the world below a blur of greens and blues. As he descended, Freddie tucked his limbs close to his body, preparing for the splash. He hit the water with a gentle plop, sending a cascade of droplets into the air. The water was surprisingly warm, wrapping around him like a cozy blanket. Beneath the surface, the world was a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes. Schools of tiny fish darted around him, their scales flashing like silver coins. Graceful plants swayed with the current, their long tendrils reaching out as if to greet him. Freddie felt a tingling sensation spread through his body, from the tips of his toes to the top of his head. Suddenly, the pond began to glow with a soft, golden light. Freddie looked around in wonder as the light grew brighter, enveloping him in its warm embrace. He felt a surge of energy, as if the pond was sharing its secrets with him. Emerging from the water, Freddie climbed onto a smooth rock at the pond's edge. He felt different, as if the pond had changed him in some magical way. The forest around him seemed more vibrant, the colors richer and the sounds clearer. Freddie couldn't wait to discover what new adventures awaited him with his newfound abilities. Discovering new abilities. As Freddie emerged from the enchanted pond, he felt a tingling sensation coursing through his body, from the tips of his webbed toes to the top of his moist, green head. The world around him seemed sharper, more vibrant. The colors of the forest were richer, the sounds clearer, and the scents more fragrant. He felt different. Curious about these newfound sensations, Freddie decided to explore. He hopped along the familiar forest floor, noticing details he'd never seen before. The veins on each leaf were like intricate maps, and the petals of the flowers glistened as if sprinkled with fairy dust. As he ventured deeper into the woods, Freddie heard a faint rustling sound. Turning towards it, he saw a small squirrel struggling to reach an acorn wedged between two rocks. Feeling an urge to help, Freddie approached and, to his surprise, understood the squirrel's mutterings. "If only I had a stick to pry it out," the squirrel sighed. "Maybe I can help," Freddie offered. The squirrel looked up, eyes wide. You can understand me." "Yes," Freddie replied, equally astonished. "Let me try." He extended his tongue, which now seemed longer and more agile, and deftly flicked the acorn free. "Thank you," the squirrel chattered happily. "I didn't know frogs could do that." "Neither did I," Freddie admitted, realizing he had gained the ability to communicate with other animals. Continuing his journey, Freddie came across a wilted flower. Feeling a strange connection to it, he gently touched its drooping petals. A warm sensation spread from his fingers, and before his eyes, the flower perked up, its colors becoming vibrant once more. "Wow," Freddie whispered. "I can heal plants too." As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the forest, Freddie felt a deep sense of gratitude for his newfound abilities. He realized that the enchanted pond had gifted him with powers to understand and help the creatures and plants around him. Eager to share his discoveries, Freddie hopped towards his home, the forest now a place of endless possibilities and adventures waiting to unfold. Helping a friend in need. Freddie's heart swelled with a newfound sense of purpose as he ventured deeper into the forest, eager to explore his mysterious abilities. The sun peeked through the dense canopy, casting playful shadows on the forest floor, while the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming wildflowers and the distant melody of chirping birds. As he hopped along a winding trail, Freddie's keen ears picked up a faint, distressed sound, a soft whimpering that seemed to come from nearby. His curiosity piqued, He followed the sound, weaving through towering trees and stepping over tangled roots, until he reached a small, sunlit clearing. There, beneath a sprawling oak tree, sat a young rabbit named Rosie. Her fur was as white as freshly fallen snow, and her big, round eyes glistened with tears. She was gently cradling her front paw, which appeared to be injured. "Oh dear, what happened?" Freddie asked, his voice filled with concern. Startled, Rosie looked up, her nose twitching. I was hopping too fast and didn't see the thorn bush," she explained, her voice trembling. "Now there's a thorn stuck in my paw, and it hurts so much." Freddie felt a surge of empathy for the little rabbit. He wanted to help but wasn't sure how. Then, an idea sparked in his mind. Remembering his recent encounter with the squirrel, he wondered if his newfound abilities could be of assistance. "May I take a closer look?" Freddie asked gently. Rosie hesitated for a moment but then nodded, extending her injured paw. Freddie examined the paw carefully and saw the thorn embedded deep within. He took a deep breath, focusing his thoughts. To his amazement, he felt a warm energy flow through him, concentrating in his front legs. His toes tingled, and he noticed a soft, golden glow surrounding them. With delicate precision, Freddie reached out and gently grasped the thorn between his glowing toes. He pulled slowly and steadily, and the thorn slid out effortlessly. As it did, the golden light spread to Rose's paw, and the wound began to heal before their eyes, the skin knitting together until there was no trace of injury. Rose's eyes widened in astonishment. "How did you do that?" she exclaimed, flexing her paw without any pain. Freddie smiled, still marveling at his abilities. "I'm not entirely sure," he admitted. "Ever since I swam in the enchanted pond, I've been able to do things I never thought possible." Rose's face lit up with gratitude. "Thank you so much, Freddie. I don't know what I would have done without you." Feeling a warm glow of happiness, Freddie replied, "I'm glad I could help. Remember, sometimes unexpected challenges lead us to discover new strengths." As the two new friends sat together under the oak tree, the forest around them seemed to hum with approval. Freddie realized that his journey was just beginning, and with his newfound abilities, he could make a real difference in the lives of his forest friends. The forest secret. The morning sun cast a golden glow over the forest, its rays filtering through the dense canopy and creating a mosaic of light and shadow on the forest floor. Freddie, still marveling at his newfound abilities, felt a gentle tug in his heart, as if the forest itself was calling him to uncover its hidden mysteries. As he ventured deeper into the woods, the familiar sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves seemed to fade, replaced by an almost palpable silence. The air grew cooler, and a soft mist began to weave between the towering trees, giving the surroundings an ethereal quality. Freddie's path led him to an ancient oak tree, its massive trunk gnarled and twisted with age. The tree's roots sprawled across the ground like the fingers of a giant, and its branches stretched high into the sky, disappearing into the mist. At the base of the tree, partially hidden by a curtain of ivy, was a small, arched opening. Curiosity sparked in Freddie's eyes. Taking a deep breath, he hopped closer and peered inside. The passageway was dimly lit, with walls adorned by luminescent fungi that cast a soft, bluish glow. Summoning his courage, Freddie squeezed through the opening and ventured into the tunnel. The tunnel wound downward, and as Freddie progressed, he noticed intricate carvings on the walls, depictions of animals, trees, and celestial bodies, all intertwined in a harmonious dance. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and ancient secrets. After what felt like an eternity, the tunnel opened into a vast cavern. Freddie gasped in awe. The cavern's ceiling was adorned with countless crystals, each reflecting light in a dazzling array of colors. In the center of the cavern stood a serene pond, its waters shimmering with a silvery hue. Approaching the pond, Freddie noticed a pedestal beside it, upon which rested an ornate, ancient book. The book's cover was embossed with symbols that seemed to pulse with energy. With a mix of reverence and curiosity, Freddie opened the book. The pages revealed the history of the forest, a tale of magic, guardianship, and balance. Freddie learned that the forest was alive with ancient magic, and that he had been chosen to protect its secrets. The enchanted pond had bestowed upon him abilities to communicate with other creatures and heal wounds, gifts meant to aid him in his role as the forest's guardian. As he delved deeper into the book, Freddie discovered that the forest's magic was sustained by the harmony between its inhabitants and nature. Any imbalance could threaten the very essence of the woods. Determined to uphold this harmony, Freddie vowed to use his powers wisely and to protect the forest's secrets from any who might seek to exploit them. Closing the book, Freddie felt a profound connection to the forest and its ancient magic. He knew that his journey was far from over, but with the knowledge he had gained and the abilities he possessed, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The journey begins. The morning sun bathed the forest in a warm, golden light, casting playful shadows that danced among the trees. Birds chirped merrily overhead, and a gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of blooming wildflowers. Freddie the frog sat on a smooth, moss-covered rock beside the enchanted pond, reflecting on the incredible discoveries he had made. He had learned of the forest's ancient magic and his newfound role as its guardian. The weight of this responsibility both excited and intimidated him. But deep down, Freddie knew that he couldn't protect the forest alone. He needed guidance and wisdom beyond his own experiences. Recalling tales of a wise old tortoise named Tiberius, who resided in the heart of the Whispering Woods, Freddie decided to seek him out. It was said that Tiberius had roamed the earth for centuries and possessed knowledge of secrets long forgotten. Determined, Freddie set off on his journey. The path ahead was unfamiliar, winding deeper into the forest than he had ever ventured before. Towering trees with thick, gnarled branches loomed overhead, their leaves forming a dense canopy that filtered the sunlight into dappled patterns on the forest floor. As he hopped along, the sounds of the forest enveloped him. The rustling of leaves, the distant call of a cuckoo, and the soft babbling of a hidden brook. The air was rich with the earthy aroma of damp soil and the faint fragrance of honeysuckle. After hours of travel, Freddie paused to rest beside a crystal-clear stream. He gazed into the water, watching as tiny fish darted between the pebbles, their scales shimmering like precious gems. Taking a deep breath, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows and painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Freddie noticed a peculiar formation of rocks ahead. They were arranged in a circular pattern, and at the center stood a stone pillar engraved with ancient runes. Approaching cautiously, Freddie felt a tingling sensation, similar to what he had experienced at the enchanted pond. The runes glowed faintly, and a soft hum resonated from the pillar. Curiosity piqued, Freddie reached out to touch the stone. The moment his fingers brushed the surface, a vision flashed before his eyes. He saw a vast, open meadow bathed in moonlight, with a solitary, towering oak tree at its center. Beneath the tree sat Tiberius, his wise eyes gazing up at the stars. The vision faded, and Freddie found himself back in the forest, the hum of the pillar now silent. He realized that the meadow in his vision was his destination, a place known as Luna's Glade, which lay beyond the Whispering Woods. With renewed determination, Freddie continued his journey, the path ahead now clear in his mind. He knew that reaching Tiberius would not only provide the guidance he sought but also mark the beginning of his true role as the forest's guardian. As night descended and the first stars twinkled in the sky, Freddie pressed on, his heart filled with hope and anticipation for the adventures that lay ahead. The hidden treasure. As Freddie ventured deeper into the Whispering Woods, the forest seemed to hold its breath, as if anticipating the secrets about to be unveiled. The trees stood tall and silent, their leaves forming a dense canopy that filtered the sunlight into a soft, emerald glow. The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth, and the only sound was the gentle rustling of leaves under Freddie's webbed feet. After hours of hopping along the winding path, Freddie noticed a faint, golden light flickering through the trees ahead. Curiosity piqued, he cautiously made his way toward the glow. As he approached, the trees parted to reveal a small clearing bathed in sunlight. At the center stood an ancient stone pedestal, covered in moss and ivy, with strange symbols carved into its surface. On top of the pedestal lay an old, weathered map, its edges tattered and worn. Freddie's heart raced with excitement as he carefully unrolled the map. The parchment depicted the very forest he was in, with a series of intricate paths leading to a spot marked with an X. Beside the X was a drawing of a magnificent tree with sprawling branches and roots. "This must be a treasure map," Freddie exclaimed, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Determined to uncover the hidden treasure, he studied the map closely, noting landmarks and directions. With a deep breath and a renewed sense of purpose, Freddie set off on the trail indicated by the map. The journey was filled with challenges. Freddie navigated through dense thickets, crossed babbling brooks, and climbed over fallen logs. At times, the path seemed to disappear, but Freddie's keen sense of direction and unwavering determination kept him on course. As dusk began to settle, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Freddie arrived at a clearing dominated by a colossal tree, the very one depicted on the map. Its trunk was wide and gnarled, with roots that twisted and turned, disappearing into the earth. The tree's branches stretched high into the sky, and its leaves rustled softly in the evening breeze. At the base of the tree, partially hidden among the roots, was a small, ornate chest, its surface adorned with intricate carvings of animals and plants. Freddie's heart pounded with excitement as he approached the chest. With trembling hands, he lifted the lid to reveal a dazzling array of jewels, gold coins, and precious artifacts. But among the glittering treasures lay something even more extraordinary, a glowing, emerald-green amulet shaped like a leaf. As Freddie picked it up, he felt a surge of energy course through him, and the forest around him seemed to come alive. The trees whispered ancient secrets, and the animals watched with knowing eyes. Freddie realized that this was no ordinary treasure. The amulet was a symbol of the forest's magic and a key to its deepest mysteries. With this newfound artifact, Freddie felt a profound connection to the forest and understood that his journey was far from over. He had uncovered a hidden treasure, but the true adventure was just beginning. Freddie's legacy. The forest was alive with the vibrant colors of autumn. Golden leaves fluttered from the trees, carpeting the ground in a mosaic of amber and crimson. The air was crisp, carrying the earthy scent of fallen leaves and the sweet aroma of ripe berries. Freddie the Frog sat atop his favorite moss-covered rock, gazing out over the enchanted pond that had become his home. Since discovering the glowing amulet and embracing his role as the forest's guardian, Freddie had undergone a remarkable transformation. His once small and timid frame had grown stronger, and his skin shimmered with a subtle, magical glow. The creatures of the forest now looked to him for guidance and protection, and he had become a symbol of hope and harmony. One crisp morning, as Freddie hopped along the familiar path to the ancient oak tree, he noticed a group of young animals gathered around. A squirrel, a rabbit, and a hedgehog were listening intently as a wise old owl spoke. The owl's feathers were speckled with silver, and his eyes gleamed with knowledge. "The forest is a living tapestry," the owl began, his voice deep and resonant. "Each of us plays a vital role in its balance. Remember, the smallest actions can have the greatest impact." Freddie approached the group, his heart swelling with pride. He had learned these lessons firsthand and was eager to share his experiences. "The owl is right," Freddie said, his voice warm and inviting. "When I first discovered the enchanted pond, I was just a curious frog. But by embracing the magic within me and helping others, I found my true purpose." The young animals looked up at Freddie with wide eyes, their faces filled with admiration. "You mean you were once like us?" the rabbit asked, her ears twitching with curiosity. "Yes," Freddie replied with a gentle smile. "We all start somewhere. It's our choices and actions that define who we become." As the days passed, Freddie continued to mentor the younger creatures, teaching them about the importance of kindness, courage, and respect for nature. He shared stories of his adventures and the lessons he had learned, inspiring them to find their own paths and embrace their unique gifts. One evening, as Freddie sat by the pond, the glowing amulet nestled against his chest, he reflected on his journey. He had started as a curious frog, unsure of his place in the world. But through his adventures and the friendships he had forged, he had discovered his true calling as the guardian of the forest. Looking out over the pond, Freddie saw the reflections of the stars twinkling on the water's surface. He realized that his legacy was not just in the magic he had discovered or the treasures he had found, but in the lives he had touched and the harmony he had helped restore to the forest. With a contented sigh, Freddie closed his eyes, feeling the gentle breeze ruffle his skin. He knew that the forest was in good hands, and that his story would continue to inspire generations to come. And so, under the watchful eyes of the stars, Freddie the Frog's legacy lived on, a testament to the power of curiosity, courage, and the magic that lies within us all. What is the moral of the story? In the story of Freddie the Frog, the moral emphasizes the importance of kindness, bravery, and using newfound abilities to help others. Freddie's journey from a curious frog to a hero who aids his friends and uncovers hidden secrets teaches young readers that with courage and compassion, they can make a positive difference in the world. And that's the story of the Magic Frog. Join us next time for more exciting adventures and discoveries. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on all our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.